在城市舞台爱上海，大家好，我是王莹。那提到奥黛丽·赫本的名字，你会想到什么呢？是高贵典雅的小黑裙，还是罗马假日当中自由无畏的安妮公主？那其实关于赫本的故事还远不止这些。今天要带大家看的《亲密的奥黛丽·赫本大展》，就将带你走进她勇敢无畏、自由鲜活的一生。为纪念这位传奇影星诞辰95周年，此次展览陈列了超过1200件关于赫本的珍稀展品，有部分在全球范围内都未曾展出过，是迄今为止数量最多、规模最庞大的赫本回顾展。正如在入口处由照片拼凑成的赫本肖像一样，展览徐徐拼凑起一位平凡女人在困境与战火中淬炼成长的非凡生命旅程。
This is such a special part for me because these are also my ancestors. And a lot of these photographs I had never seen before. She was Audrey Hepburn and one of the most beautiful women, but she was also just a human being. I think that is a message that anyone can understand from this exhibition.
The idea was at the beginning to have a journey in her life in one space really simple, without any kind of distraction, without any kind of overlap of the space. You have to walk through the exhibition.
这次我们特别邀请到为此次大展而从纽约远道而来的奥黛丽·赫本长子肖恩·赫本费雷尔，带领我们走进时间的长廊，倾听他与母亲最亲密的故事。So Sean, this is like the starting point of the whole exhibition.
Yes. We're hearing my mother's voice here, what we call the tunnel, which is a way to transition from the outside to the behind the scenes of sorts. These are drawings that she did very early on in life as a little girl. She's in bed, it's very cold, not so much food during the war, and so she's occupying herself dreaming about what life will be like after the war is over. For a young girl, she's really quite talented.
All of these drawings were just created out of imagination.
Exactly.
Yeah. These are the original copies?
Yes.
And what about these ones?
Yes, passports.
Passports. Oh.
Now, after her youth, we traveled to London, where she was hoping to become a dancer, but unfortunately, the war robbed her of that chance. As her teacher said, you can teach here for the rest of your life because you know perfectly the ballet. But if you ask me today if you're going to be a prima ballerina, I would have to say no.
She missed the golden years, but she's always dreaming about it.
Yes. This is early little plays and musicals she did in London when she realized she was not going to be a dancer. And then, of course, comes the great opportunity from the writer of Gigi, who was looking for a young girl, fresh-faced, for a princess for Roman holiday. They came to New York and found her there.
Which of the cities visited did Your Highness enjoy the most?
Rome. By all means, Rome.
When I was young, I'd listen to the radio, waiting for my favorite
So here we have the Vespa from Roman Holiday.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
Yes.
Her movies. And how do you like this movie?
I love it. We had a chance to see the film on the big screen. When you see her face, much bigger.
You can see even the subtle facial expressions.
Yes.
That's very touching.
You see her ability as an actress, even though she's only 22 years old.
And this place is about wedding.
When my father and my mother met through Gregory Peck, when he came back after Roman holiday, they rented a house in the mountains in Switzerland, and they lived there from the early 50s until the early 60s. And so finally they got married on the 25th of September 1954, and they had a party for all their friends.
And this is the wedding dress?
Yes, Pierre Balmain, very simple.
And we got the wedding rings?
And the wedding bands, yes, with the dates inscribed on the inside. It's a reassurance for all these girls today who are made to feel inadequate by the fashion industry, that you can become the biggest icon of a century in a simple little dress. If you look all the time, she's really dressed with a pair of jeans or little cotton dress.
All of her looks are quite simple, actually.
And here we have the only other dress of hers in the exhibition. This is a Givenchy. They've started working together. First celebrity perfume in the history of the world, which means it's forbidden to anyone but to her. This was a friendship thing. They never commercialized it between themselves. Finally, 1960, July 17th.
This part is called Sean.
Yes.
Your very first photo?
Yes. But it's really not about me as much as it is about the family and the feeling.
Here's the crib.
Yes.
With Sean on it.
Yes.
And what do you think is the most precious thing that your mom left you?
The biggest gift I think she gave my brother and I is to grow up in an environment that was completely ideology-free. She said, you can believe in anything you want when you grow up, but I'm not going to push anything on you. What's very touching to see everything about the house before the UNICEF capsule is you get to see the world that she created for herself. She should have been able to enjoy it. But she gave all of that up to give the last 5 years of her life as an ambassador for UNICEF for the well-being of children and mothers all over the world. And we finally we have our own little cinema where you can sit and enjoy 10 minutes of the best moments of her films. If you see her films, she's really Audrey Hepburn in every part.
What do you think is the most profound impact that Audrey could have on the younger generations?
The whole purpose of this exhibition is to let young women know that you can be yourself. Elegance begins in the mind, not on the outside. Cultivate your mind, educate yourself, have a broad perspective, make simple choices. It's not about spending money. You have to make choices of things that have value over time.
奥黛丽·赫本呢，她是一个非常有信念感的、有生命力的、有生长力的这样的一个女性。我们一直也是在想要传承她的精神，然后澎湃女性力量。
不朽于时光，她是永远在人间的天使。即日起，欢迎您来到上海外滩的百年建筑，与亲密的奥黛丽·赫本展开跨世纪对话，走进这位传奇女性的多面人生。